And welcome in to the Prince George's Sports and Learning Complex and Marvin F. Wilson Stadium for DeMatha Catholic football as the Stags are getting set to take on Clarkson North from Mississauga, Ontario.
Yeah.
I'm Corey Puffett, joined as I have been recently by Eric Meyer and Stephen McDonald. And how are you gentlemen doing tonight?
Doing pretty good. A little bit of Canadian football mixed with American football. Should be interesting.
Yeah, no 55 yards on the field today, Stephen.
No, not even the 20-yard end zones?
Not even the 20-yard end zones.
What about the one-point rouge?
Love it.
That would have been cool, but
That
no,
would- yeah,
we do not have that tonight. We have normal American rules high school football on tap for you all this evening. Clarkson North coming into this game. We don't know a whole lot about them. We don't really know what to expect from their team, but we do know that they have played quite an interesting schedule so far this season. They are coming off of a narrow loss against St. Ignatius, the number one team in Ohio. That was a 7-10 loss. They also beat Pilati by that same score, 10-7, back in September. And they're getting set to face St. Francis in Baltimore in 2 weeks. So a lot of local teams on that schedule and a pretty tough schedule. When I was talking to Coach McGregor before the game, he talked a little bit about how he was expecting coming into the season this would be maybe an easier game than he now thinks it might be. We could be in store for a close one tonight.
Yeah. They're on their North American barnstorming tour.
Yes. So we have the captains out in the middle of the field right now for the coin toss, and we'll keep an eye to see what the result of that is going to be. Tonight we're going to have two national anthems played. We're going to have our normal Star Spangled Banner, but we're also going to hear O Canada tonight. And we're always looking forward to that. We're going to get to hear that again in a couple of days because, Stephen, what is Sunday morning?
Sunday morning is it the London game?
It's another London game, yes.
I forgot about that.
You remember what happened in the past. You know what's coming up. That's okay.
If you don't have ESPN Plus, I guess you're out of luck.
That's true.
Yeah.
You're not going to be watching it if you don't have ESPN Plus, which I don't know if I do. I might not be watching that game.
You should get the Hulu bundle then. Yeah,
the Hulu Bundaroo?
yeah, exactly. Might stay away from some other jokes that are related to that, but
So it looks like DeMatha won the toss and is elected to defer. At least that is if I am reading the officials' mannerisms correctly. But some inactives for the Stags tonight to be aware of. On the offensive line, Nate Hampton, he was out last time that we covered a game 2 weeks ago. Chris Kofi, the linebacker, number 24, he is inactive. And the number 99, the tight end, Therese Davis, is inactive. So we're going to see Riley Ferrand get the start at tight end. We're going to see Brian Bates Jr. starting at linebacker. And also Gerald Campbell is inactive tonight. Gerald Campbell was a pretty big factor in that game, that homecoming game against McNamara 2 weeks ago. Got the scoring started with that big touchdown early in the game. So we're actually going to probably see Kareem Robinson potentially starting today, depending on which package they run. We're going to take a quick moment for O Canada.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please remain standing for the singing of our national anthem as recorded by the Voices of DeMatha.
By the dawn's early light,
O Canada and the Star Spangled Banner. Great to hear those two songs as we get set for this game here. DeMatha Catholic versus Clarkson North.
I mean about you. I'm sorry. You know I can find it on YouTube. The stream. It's on DM Stacks TV. DM Stacks TV. Okay, thank you.
Gotta love when the broadcast gets a little interrupted, but that's okay. We are just about set for kickoff as we get a final prayer down on the field. Father Damien down there, as is tradition, along with Coach Bill McGregor, who is coming off of his career win number 301 last week, wrecking St. John's homecoming with a 17-14 victory.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a pretty deserved outcome when you schedule DeMatha for your homecoming, though. I mean,
It is. The second time, by the way, this year that DeMatha has wrecked somebody's homecoming, and a pretty big rival with that. Not only St. John's, but Gonzaga also inexplicably decided to schedule us for their homecoming. So you get what you get.
And, you know, they beat Bishop DeMatha beat Bishop McNamara on DeMatha's homecoming.
Yes.
So
3-0 in
homecoming, yeah.
There you go.
Can't
This
get
one,
much better than that.
I assume that this is not a homecoming game for Clarkson North because we are not
In a way coming?
We're not, in a way coming, but one of many because I think pretty much all of their games have been in the United States, which makes sense. Probably not a whole lot of Canadian high school teams playing American rules
in
football.
the Ontario Peninsula, there actually are a lot.
there?
It's pretty competitive, but CFL is still Canadian football is still more popular there.
They should play it like baseball used to, American League, National League, where when people travel to Canada, they should play Canadian football.
Exactly.
One thing that we're going to be keeping an eye on tonight is going to be the DeMatha running game because it didn't really get going much against St. John's. Brendan Wyatt had 12 carries for just 44 yards. Tavani Mizell had 6 carries for 13 yards and a fumble. And Denzel Gardner had 9 carries for 23 yards, though he did have one of the Stags' 2 touchdowns on the ground. He also had one through the air as part of a 5-for-9 day passing for 120 yards.
But the defense won that game.
The defense absolutely won that game. That was a huge effort from the Stags' defensive line, defensive backfield, just all around.
Yeah.
So we are just about set now for kickoff. And, yes, Jackson Peterson sends it away. It's fielded right around the 10-yard line and returned near the 25. That is where Clarkson North will begin their first offensive drive of the game.
This is exciting. I want to see what they're able to do. I'm almost expecting the receivers to run up before the start of the play,
like
but well, no. And
that's also Canadian football.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's curious for the players as well, just knowing that it's such a mystery out there what you should expect.
Yeah. It's like you bought a car without test driving it.
Would not recommend.
Yeah.
Jacob Wallace once again starting in the defensive backfield for DeMatha. DeAndre Ricks was inactive in that homecoming game. He is back healthy, and he will play tonight, but he is not in the starting lineup. So we'll see what Wallace has as the first play for Clarkson North is a pass targeting way downfield Makai Tyrell, but out of bounds, incomplete, and we will have a 2nd down and 10 for Clarkson North.
It's a good play-action fake. Fooled out the defense. Certainly fooled out me, but throw was just not on target.
Yeah, coming out of his hand, the throw didn't look very confident, but we'll see if they go back to a play like that again because it looked like they had a pretty good fake going on there. But
Gavin Withingham is joining Tyrell down at the bottom of your screen, split out wide. Quarterback Adrian Muhammad for Clarkson North. Sends a man in motion, and he is going to give that away to Tyrell. Makai Tyrell around the left end of the offensive line, and he's got some positive yardage, but there is a flag on the field near the 30-yard marker. Went out of bounds after a gain of maybe 6. And it looks like they're calling a hold.
Yeah.
Yes. Hold against the offense, so that's going to back Clarkson North up 10 yards from the spot of the foul. And it looks like the hold was well downfield, maybe even beyond where the play ended, as they only lost about 4 yards out of that. It'll be 2nd down and 14 as they replay the down. And Muhammad, man in motion, he's going to keep it himself and try and run up the gut. Not any running room to speak of. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage. I don't think he got any more.
Yeah. They like the man in motion so far, though. So They should be able to use that for more jet sweeps and stuff like that later in the game.
Yeah, it was a pretty good go on that first jet sweep. Just the holding ended up backing them up. But now it's going to be 3rd and 14, and we're probably going to see another look downfield.
And obviously, for a team you haven't seen before, it doesn't matter. 3rd and 14 is where you want to be. DeMatha's defense should hold here.
So that is Jacob Wallace split out down at the bottom of your screen on defense, covering Jake Schlachter, as Muhammad is going to try and swing that out to Mekhi Tyrell. Was that a backward pass? It looks like it is, as they are not whistling the play dead, and DeMatha has them dead to rights back well inside the 10-yard line.
I was going to say, it looks like Gavin Withingham was going to be wide open. There was only one person on the bottom side of your screen. So they could have done a crossing route or a pick or something there. It would have just been free yards.
It looked like that was a one-route play right there. It was pretty much just get the ball to the guy in the backfield, and it didn't work out too well.
Yeah, but I'm not sure who it was at the bottom of the screen for DeMatha on defense. I think it might have been number 34, Cortez Harris, who was able to get in that passing lane and really prevent him from even trying to target Withingham. So we will have a punt here for Clarkson North, and it's a low, more or less line drive punt, and Christian Tate could not get to it and wisely decides not to even try to touch it, as that could have resulted in a turnover. Instead, it's going to take a nice long roll for Clarkson North, and DeMatha will take over at their own 40-yard line.
Yeah, that's the difference between a mild inconvenience from a fortuitous bounce and a disaster for a turnover. Better to just let them have the extra 10 yards versus trying to scoop a rolling oblong football. You never know what's going to happen.
Yeah. Great punt, though. Better than what we saw in our last game.
So Brendan Wyatt is the starting running back for DeMatha tonight. Denzel Gardner in the shotgun. Some hard count from DeMatha's offense here. So we got 4 wide receivers in the game in this opening package. Did not have that on my bingo card with Gerald Campbell out, but we're going to have a fake handoff. Gardner looking downfield on the first play. Christian Tate, just a little bit overthrown. It did get to his hands, but could not haul it in. Christian Tate burned the defense on that play.
Yeah, Gardner just needed to leave that ball a little more inside. He would have hit him right in stride.
So we will do it again. 2nd down and 10 for DeMatha. Good look on the first play. Let's see if DeMatha tries to go deep again. A little bit of a high snap, and they're going to give it to Brendan Wyatt. He'll dive ahead and find a way through the hole for about 6 yards there. We'll have a 3rd down for DeMatha as they cross midfield.
The high snaps seemed to plague DeMatha a little bit during the homecoming game as well. The only turnover, or the only touchdown that McNamara was able to score was a result of a botched handoff off of a high snap. So I'd like to see that get cleaned up.
We want to watch for a Christian Tate comeback route here.
We'll see if he can run that. We saw Gerald Campbell running quite a bit of that. Instead, this is Cody Williams. Cody Williams has some space, and he's going to take it way down near the 10-yard line before he is finally forced out of bounds by number 22, Gavin English.
That was a really nice route tree on that play. Because, like you said, he ran the comeback, and that left the flat open for a nice catch and run there.
Just a perfect play design.
Yep.
See if we might get Wyatt to run to the right side on this play.
Yep, Brendan Wyatt still in the game here for DeMatha. A low snap this time, and Denzel Gardner just tries to spin out. Unsuccessful as the defense closes in, and number 90, Liam St. Jacques, was there to clean up the play and take DeMatha down well beyond the original line of scrimmage, back near the 16-yard line. It'll be a 2nd down and long. DeMatha can get a 1st down without scoring here. Christian Tate split to the bottom of your screen. Man goes in motion. High snap. Fake give. And into the end zone, but a little bit long. He was going for, was that
Cody
Christian
Williams.
Tate again? Oh, that was Cody Williams. Yeah, he was going for Cody Williams down there deep in the end zone. But, again, a little bit too much juice on it. Put it out too far in front.
Second time past 2 minutes that we've seen that.
So we'll now have a third down and about 13 yards to go. At this point, you pretty much have to run a play to the end zone. Good snap, passes it out to the flat, and good defense by Clarkson North shuts that down around the 14-yard line.
That ball was a little behind. If he could have thrown a little bit more outside, that would have been at least 5 or 6 more yards to make an easier field goal. But
Jackson Peterson will come in to try the field goal for DeMatha and give them a 3-point lead. We'll see if he can make this. Noah Vitko is back healthy today, so he will handle the long snapping responsibilities. Tawfiq Bayard, as usual, is going to be the holder.
Jackson Peterson on to attempt the 30-yard field goal. Tawfiq Bayard to hold.
Somebody
Very
was
late
late
substitution.
coming in, and the clock is winding down on the play clock. And it looks like a timeout is going to be taken by DeMatha to ensure that they do not run into a delay of game. So as we take this first break, pretty good drive overall, especially that big play to Cody Williams.
Yeah.
Just a short route into the flat and good blocking downfield, some space to the sideline, and Cody Williams was able to turn it up near the 10-yard line.
Yeah, I mean, it was a nice drive. We saw some opportunities in the end zone or downfield for DeMatha. Gardner was just unfortunately unable to hit him. And also the low snap on 1st and 10 after the big play kind of derailed the drive a little bit, but they can salvage it with 3 here.
What will be interesting to watch for is whether Clarkson North is able to make an adjustment on defense to cover the deep pass now that they know that DeMatha is willing to try it. You know, that is
maybe
something
doing
that
2 safeties in the back, yeah.
Yeah, and they could have been watching some film and seeing that DeMatha does not take a lot of deep shots down the field. Jackson Peterson's kick is up and through the upright. It is good. And DeMatha takes a 3-0 lead. 7 minutes and 23 seconds remaining in the first quarter.
So they only have one official working the goalpost?
I noticed that as well. I guess so.
I don't know. Maybe there's an officiating strike going on.
Maybe these are replacement refs.
Yeah.
Let's hope they're better than the replacement refs were.
So officially a 30-yard field goal for Jackson Peterson, and he will get set to kick this one away for DeMatha.
Jackson Peterson tees it up for the Stags.
Two-step approach. Kick is fielded back right on the 10-yard line. And
blocking.
cutting upfield with some decent blocking, that was Gavin Withingham. He eventually is taken down around the 32-yard line.
It was just enough of a hole for him, right around, I guess, the 20-yard line, then he could just sneak through and get a few more yards.
And Clarkson's shown a little something with their special teams. They had a good punt. They had a nice return there.
Yeah.
Football North 33-yard line. That's why they take over 1st and 10.
Three wide receivers set for Clarkson North, 2 split to the bottom of your screen. And we have a new quarterback in the game. That is number 14, Winston Chapman, who is going to give it off, and DeMatha shuts that down. Caleb Sargent, the running back, had no room and just managed to get it back to the line of scrimmage.
Really nice job setting the edge by DeMatha on the left side.
Yeah. That offensive line just collapsed. It was like a cheap suit in a rainstorm.
Your similes are on point.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that.
Second down and 10 here for Clarkson North, and a little toss play. Again, not a lot of running room for Sargent. He's taken down after a gain of maybe a yard. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
I don't think the ball was supposed to have been tossed that early. I think that was just, I mean, if it was supposed to be that early, it would have been a handoff. It would have saved some time and maybe gotten a few more yards.
Yeah, DeMatha had way too easy of a job to rally the football there.
That's one of the things about a toss is that the defense immediately knows it's left the quarterback's hand. It's a run play, whereas on a handoff, the quarterback could pull it back. It could be an RPO. You don't know for sure what it is. Chapman sends a man in motion. Had a little bit of trouble handling the snap, but he does get it off, and it's complete. Number 3, Mekhi Tyrell Jr., and he moves the chains for Clarkson North. First down.
Good route running there. So.
Yeah, very good route running. Just about a 10 yards. Sit
Yeah.
where you are. Defense is a little soft, and a good job by Chapman to find him.
Nice work by the quarterback, too, with the bobbled snap. On plays like that, those are such timing routes, and that can disrupt you, but he was still able to make the throw and get to him on time.
So we'll have a first down for Clarkson North near midfield, a few yards away. Hands it off, and Sargent dives forward, picks up a couple.
I think at least for the end of this drive, you got to give up on the run. The run's not really getting where you can do a play-action pass, you can do an RPO, but the run, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah, 1st and 10 runs after a nice pickup in the passing game. That's a good way to short-circuit your own drive.
It's like Miami Dolphins football.
I think you're just mad because you had Tua in the lineup and he wasn't throwing enough.
He wasn't. I lost by a point.
At least he was alive.
Second down and 8. Pass over the middle is broken up on the line of scrimmage. Somebody got his hand up on that pass that was targeting Tyrell.
Yeah, DeMatha's front seven's definitely not having any trouble getting push.
Or disrupting the passing lanes.
Yep.
I mean, we saw on the first drive where I believe it was Withingham, looked like he had a pretty good matchup one-on-one on the outside, but Cortez Harris was able to get into a position where the quarterback couldn't find him. They had to try and swing it around, and they wound up losing yardage on a backward pass.
Yep.
Tyrell in motion behind the line of scrimmage, and they're going to toss it over to him on the left side of the field. And he finds a little bit of space. He is up. Is he going to stay there? Yes, I think he's got a first down based on where he was tackled. Yes, that is going to move the chains. I was nervous for him for a moment that he was going to go backwards and wind up losing that first down, but they do move the chains, and Clarkson North has it at the 42-yard line of DeMatha.
That first pump fake really, he got a lot of bait on that, and it was just great.
But it was also just a great job out there to make a move. You had to make a man miss.
Yep.
He still really had him dead to rights, and he was able to blow by and use the sideline to his advantage.
It was a question of can you beat your man, and he did, so first down.
So Clarkson North's got a little something going on this drive. Chapman gives it up. Another first down run as this one is given to Tyson Charles, I believe it was number 33. Yeah, Tyson Charles. He's listed as a defensive back on our roster, but he was out there taking that handoff, and did he lose a yard? No, he gained about a yard.
Yeah. He picked up a yard.
Well, I'm watching the sticks, and he was behind the line of scrimmage marker. But it'll be second down and 9 here for Clarkson North after another first down short gain on the run. And this time he's going to keep it himself, and he picks up a nice chunk of yardage right up the middle. Nice job there by Winston Chapman.
Using that, realizing DeMatha's going to be in the backfield already.
Yep.
So you might as well take the free real estate.
That's one of those where you are almost running a play action. You know, I mean, it's not a play action; it's an option. It's a read option play right there. But you're baiting the defense to come in because you've been running so much. They're expecting, well, maybe they will run again, even though because so many times. I mean, this would have been the third time on this drive that they got almost nothing on a first down carry, and they still came back with another run on second down. So another first down on this drive for Clarkson North, and another first down run. Some good yardage, but a flag is out. That was Brandon Ward, as Clarkson North has a lot of running backs in that barn that they are using on this drive. We'll see what the penalty call is. Likely a hold. And it is a hold against Clarkson North, so they finally get a good run on first down, and maybe it was because of that penalty.
Well, it was like their run to the left that we saw on their first drive was penalized and brought back for a holding penalty. So
That flag was thrown with a vengeance, too.
Oh, yeah.
He wanted that flag
I want
out.
to make sure everybody knew it.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a huge loss. In fact, more than 10 yards, as apparently that hold took place in the backfield.
First and
And they'll
almost
be
20.
Yeah, in fact, that's more like first and 23.
Yeah.
They lost a lot of yards on that penalty. Very costly. They had a great drive going, but now they got a long way to go to keep it going. As if another first down run, not a whole lot. A little bit better than what we've been seeing, but Brandon Ward is going to be taken down after a gain of maybe 5.
But still, I mean, a 2-yard gain on first and miles.
Yeah.
How far does that get you?
Well, you can justify first and 10 runs, but when it's first and 23, you got to put the ball in the air.
Yeah.
So now we are looking at a 2nd and 20, roughly. The official scoreboard in the building says 2nd and 21 for Clarkson North. So still quite a ways to go. Man in motion. Looking downfield. Instead, he's going to check it down and bobbled, but caught. And there's still going to be a good little ways short of the original line of scrimmage after that pass to Gavin Whittingham.
So that feels like the play they should have run on first
down. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Get that chunk of yards.
Yep, certainly would have set them better up on 2nd down. Instead, it'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 14 yards to go. See what DeMatha can do here on defense. We've got 5 defensive backs out, one of them likely the stag that DeMatha likes to run out there. He can play linebacker, play a little bit of nickel. Man in motion once again, looking downfield, and he's got a man, and he's got a first down. That is, again, Mekhi Tyrell Jr. having a great drive, and somehow Clarkson North comes back from a 1st and 23 situation to pick up a first down inside the red zone at the 18-yard line.
Caleb Sargent saved that play for Clarkson North with a great block to cover the blitz.
Yes, and a really nice throw from Chapman to Tyrell. They've been doing a good job using that man in motion. Gavin Whittingham that time was the man in motion. And, you know, DeMatha knows that they have to cover that because Clarkson North has thrown it a few times. And it's been successful a couple of times. As we reach the end of the first quarter, the clock has reached zeros. Pretty fast-moving first quarter, gentlemen.
Yeah.
So good little ways that they're going to have to move the ball as we switch fields.
This is the lowest scoring first quarter we've done.
It is. That is true.
Yeah.
What was it it was 21-0, I
nothing.
believe, at the end of the first quarter in that homecoming game 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Ultimately wound up 56-6. Certainly the most high-scoring game that I have broadcast of DeMatha football.
Mine too.
I like what Clarkson North is doing with the screen check down almost. Every play, instead of having a check down route like 5 yards up, they've got a screen route in the back that's dump it off, and because everyone's going downfield, they're going to get more than what a normal check down would get.
As much as we're making comments about their decisions to run on first down, run on 2nd down, you know, and early in the drive it was not successful, they've been very methodical on this drive, and I like that. Like, when you can just pick up chunks of yards, just about every play they're moving forward, and sometimes it's by inches, but then they get that big play that they need, and they're moving the chains. And you can't argue with results.
Yeah.
And when you have the confidence in your passing game like they seem to have with these plays that they're running the ball on first down, you still want to try to establish it, even if it's not going great. And if you know you can get out of trouble with the passing game, no reason not to try to run the ball. But even so, you probably prefer not to be backed up 3rd and long every drive.
So as we get set to start the second quarter, it is 1st and 10. Clarkson North deep into DeMatha territory, looking to continue their drive in the red zone, but they're going to lose about a yard there as DeMatha blew it up in the backfield. I believe, was that Brian Bates?
That was Brian Bates.
Yeah, Brian Bates involved in that tackle along, I think, with Cortez Harris. A loss of a yard. It'll be 2nd down and 11.
Brian Bates has got some cool silver cleats this weekend. I don't know. DeMatha's just got every week they've got these really cool cleats. If only they made like normal shoes like that.
Little bit of a bunch formation. Everybody inside the numbers on offense for Clarkson North here. Chapman sends Withingham in motion, and he's going to look to pass. And just a quick swing pass, nothing doing as Caleb Sargent could not haul it in.
Withingham was wide open. No one was covering him until Tawfiq Bayard came down and realized.
But, Sargent probably had a little bit of running room there too.
Yeah.
He probably was thinking too much about that rather than hauling in the pass. But we will have a 3rd down and 11 now for Clarkson North, trying to come away with some points on this drive.
I think they'll get points.
It's been a great drive for them so far. We don't know what they have at kicker yet. That'll be interesting to find out.
I saw them in practice. Kicker, he was a very good kicker.
Okay, there you go. So as long as they don't turn it over here, we should expect some points to be put on the board by Clarkson North. It's just a matter of how many. Back to pass, and Chapman is taken down. Was that Cortez Harris, number 34? Yes, it was.
He took too long there. He should have noticed the pocket was collapsing.
Yeah, well, I think he did notice. I think he just didn't get out of it quickly enough because he started to climb the pocket, but he didn't commit to running. He really should have at that point. So he got back to the line of scrimmage. Not officially a sack for Cortez Harris, but a great tackle to hold them here at 4th down and 10 at the 18-yard line. This is going to wind up being a 27-yard field goal. Call it 26 yards officially, as it is through the uprights, and we have a tie game, ladies and gentlemen. What is the kicker's number? Did you catch that, Steven?
I did not. Let's see. I think it's 88, Gabriel Canabrava.
There you go.
That's a great name.
It is. Like when you said it, I was expecting like a hyphen in there or something, but it flows so nicely.
Yeah, it's perfect. He should run for president.
Not here.
Well, not
well. Actually, maybe he can. I don't know.
I don't know what his citizenship.
Yeah. So 8 minutes and 34 seconds. Actually, no, 8 minutes and 44 seconds on that drive by Clarkson North. Again, methodical, did a great job of just milking the clock and wearing DeMatha's defense down. I mean, they're going to be tired, and now DeMatha really needs to go out there and do something on offense, but their defense is rested.
Yeah.
So it's going to be really interesting to see how that affects this next drive.
It's very similar to Super Bowl 25. Most people know that game as the Scott Norwood wide right Super Bowl, but the Bills were supposed to win that game, and Bill Parcells realized, the head coach of the Giants, just milk the clock. The Bills played so fast that if they took all of the time away, the Bills couldn't do anything, no matter how fast they could get down the field, and end up winning by 1. So,
yeah, no, I mean that's one of the things that made Bill such a great coach. So Canabrava kicks it away, does not make it to the end zone. It'll be fielded around the 4-yard line by DeMatha.
Oh, illegal
and
block
he's got some room, but yes, there was a block in the back. Dante Lovett on the return. Or was there? I don't see a flag.
They missed that.
Yeah. We all saw it up here.
Yeah. it was
and we're biased in DeMatha's favor.
Yes.
So
what
does that tell you?
We were more like grumbling, like, oh, that's going to be a flag. And then it wasn't.
Yep. So instead, are the referees discussing? No, they're not. So
take the money and run.
So I guess no penalty on the play somehow. And Dante Lovett with a great return to the 34-yard line. That is where DeMatha will take over for this next possession. Bud Coombs in the game right now for DeMatha with the orange cleats. And the handoff is to Coombs. A couple of nice cuts to try and get a little bit of space. Didn't really make it very far as Dominic Limani, number 99 on the defensive line, takes him down.
Another high snap.
Yes.
The snaps are either high and low. If you took the average out of that, it would be great, but it needs to be right in the middle.
No gain on the play. We'll do it again, 2nd down and 10 for DeMatha now. Got a pair of receivers split to the top of your screen, one at the bottom. Man goes in motion. I believe that's Remy Robinson. We may get a chance to see him with a carry later as Bud Coombs finds the edge. There is a flag on this play, though. And there is a good chance that this is going to come back.
As we're waiting for the call, we should mention Denzel has some pretty cool cleats today, too. They're camo.
Are they?
Like
I did not notice. I don't pay attention.
Red.
Clearly, I don't pay attention to shoes the way you do. But you
I've
also
got
have
the
the binoculars. That
yeah.
helps.
They're like camo, red, white, and blue. It's pretty cool.
That is really cool.
Again, Nike should start making shoes like that, just regular shoes.
I remember when DeMatha first made the deal with Under Armour, I actually saw quite a few of the players getting shoes like that, and I haven't really seen as much of that lately, so that's cool that he's got a pair of those. Those are really nice cleats.
You need golf shoes like that.
Cross-country spikes like that. So, second down and very long. It looks like DeMatha lost about as many yards as Clarkson North did on their hold. And Denzel gears up, puts it outfield, and almost picked and then almost caught by Alvin Thornton. It's a great effort by Thornton just to get his hand back on it, but incomplete. And Thornton's going to jog off to the side. Or no, he's actually going to go back out.
Okay.
That certainly raised the blood pressure of everyone on the DeMatha sideline.
He really geared up for that pass.
Yeah, especially with being it so close.
Yeah, that's one of those where, it's second down. You don't need to get all of it.
Yeah.
You don't want to run in that situation, but you probably just want to try and get about half of the yards you need. Instead, now we have a third down and 24 yards to go.
But the Stags are going to have one open on the bottom.
He's going to pass it out. He's got a man and dropped. Oh, no. That was a great throw. The best throw we've seen from Gardner so far today. And who was that? What was that? Bud Coombs. Yeah, Bud Coombs out there. Not somebody who usually runs a ton of routes. Just dropped it. That's a shame. It'll be fourth down and long. DeMatha is going to have to punt this away, and their defense got to be tired from that 8-minute, almost 9-minute drive. They're going to have to go right back out there and try and find a way to stop that methodical Clarkson North offense.
Yeah, we talked about that coming into this drive to see how Clarkson's defense would be if they're rested. And they were really flying after the ball, especially the first down run.
Thought they were going to get a block there.
Very high punt by Jackson Peterson. Fortunately for him, takes a DeMatha bounce and goes out of bounds at the Clarkson North 44-yard line.
That was quite a lucky bounce.
Yeah, because that was a very high punt, very short punt. I saw the same thing you did when you reacted. There was somebody flying around the edge, but I believe it might have been Remy Robinson in the backfield ready to lay down that block.
That was, inches away. It could have been disaster for DeMatha.
Yes. So 9 minutes and 5 seconds to go here in the second quarter. Clarkson North tied the game up 3-3 on their last possession. We'll see if they can take a lead on this drive. Four wide receiver set. The man in the backfield, I believe, is Tyson Charles once again, and he's going to take the handoff and run right up the gut. Ran right into one of his linebackers. And I think ultimately his offensive lineman might have been the one to take him down.
Yeah.
Picked up about 2 yards, though. It'll be second down and 8.
Not the butt fumble, but the side tackle, I guess.
Well, we are back in passing down territory, so we'll see what DeMatha can do.
Yep. Brandon Ward checks into the game at running back for Clarkson North. Man in motion is Mekhi Tyrell Jr. He takes the handoff and trying to find some space out on the edge and just elusive. Does pick up some good yardage past midfield. Just made a lot of people miss in a very small space.
Yeah, very shifty.
Yeah, we've seen Clarkson have a lot of plays like that where it looks like DeMatha has them stopped, but they're able to squeak forward for a few extra yards. They've got good skill position players.
And there is a flag on the play out there. and it's a face mask against DeMatha.
no.
So that's going to wind up being 15 yards added to the end of the play, I believe. Yes. So they went up to about the 49-yard line where he was ultimately tackled, and they're going to mark off an additional 15 yards down to the 34. So a big penalty against the Stags there. Gives Clarkson North a lot of momentum.
Yeah.
And it looks like we've got a timeout now.
Yeah.
And it's going to be charged to DeMatha as the coaching staff probably wisely decides to give the defense a couple of moments of reprieve and try and gather them up and make a stop here before they get into field goal range. Although I didn't see their kicker during pregame. Maybe this is field goal range for him. That would be pretty impressive for a high schooler. It's close.
I'd
Okay.
say 3 more yards.
That is close.
Yeah. He was hitting some from pretty far.
Yeah, I mean, three more yards puts them basically at a 50-yard field goal or 49 yards.
Yeah.
Which is pretty impressive for a high schooler.
Yeah. I'd say he'd make 1 out of 4 from 50 yards.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's within range.
Yeah.
That's certainly not a guarantee, but, is it a guarantee in the NFL if your name's not Justin Tucker?
Well, didn't Justin Tucker get blocked last night?
He did, but that was
Is
also
it-
like a
It was
64-yarder.
a 61-yarder. He also doinked a 56-yarder. I think was that either.
Yeah, that was 2 or 3 weeks ago.
It was 2 weeks ago
Yeah.
because I was at the game last week, and that never happened. So probably because I was there, and yeah.
So we've got a 1st and 10 here. We have not seen Adrian Muhammad since that first drive at quarterback for Clarkson North. Hopefully he is okay, not injured. But we have had Winston Chapman since then, and he's done a pretty good job leading this offense. Here is a handoff, and another flag flies in toward the pile. They're going to have to be careful throwing those flags the way they are. They could wind up going into somebody's
like
face
lawn
mask. I
darts.
mean, this is bringing back, what was it, Orlando Brown? The offensive lineman for Cleveland, who an official threw a flag and it hit him in the eye. Yeah, you got to be careful with that.
They're throwing them like lawn darts.
Yes, we learned this 20 years ago, people. More than 20 years ago now. I'm really aging myself with that reference. So some lost yardage there, about a 10-yard loss for Clarkson North on a hold. Ronan Johansson, number 80, is the wide receiver split to the bottom of your screen for Clarkson North. It's a 4-man wide receiver set. And we're going to basically make it 5 receivers as they send a man in motion from the backfield. And that throw for Tyrell incomplete. On target, but maybe a little bit late with the target as DeMatha was able to close in nicely on that defense, and it'll be 2nd down and long.
Yeah, really good job breaking on that play by the defensive back. Break the play up. It looked like if he was there maybe a split second earlier, it could have been a turnover. But
we have a timeout on the field for an injured player for Clarkson North. So got the trainers out there, check on him, make sure that he's okay.
Looks like it's 71, Mateo Lucero. But I do not know.
Yeah, a little bit hard to tell the number from this angle, and yes, it is number 71, and he's on his feet. Looks like he's walking on his own power, which is definitely good to see. Looks like he's favoring his left leg a little bit, so he's going to get a little bit of help heading off the field, and now he waves them away. He's walking himself. So we'll see if we see him again tonight, but definitely good to see him walk off the field on his own power.
it looked like he was just trying to flex it out.
Yep.
Get himself
Maybe just a
situated.
stinger.
Let's hope so.
But Clarkson North gathering up for just a moment, and they are set to come back out. It is 2nd down and 18 for Football North. Jacob Wallace is the defensive back, split to the bottom of your screen at corner. Caleb Sargent, the running back in Clarkson's backfield. Pass downfield and just out of the reach of the defender and gets hits Gavin Whittingham, but the ball's out and DeMatha is returning it.
He's
still on his feet and finally taken down near the 45-yard line on Clarkson North's side of the 50. So a really nice pass, almost picked off, ultimately caught by Gavin Whittingham, but then he coughs it up, and DeMatha has the ball in plus territory.
That was a roller coaster of emotions there. Looked like an interception waiting to happen, then it turned into a big completion, then it turned into a fumble, into a big return.
yeah.
I need a moment.
So that was Dante Lovett with the recovery, and a great return by Lovett sets DeMatha's offense up in great field position. 3 receivers split to the bottom of your screen, 1 at the top. Gardner takes the high snap, fakes the give, looking for a man over the middle of the field, but threw it behind his target. I believe that was Christian Tate he was looking for, couldn't make the adjustment.
Yeah, he had him up the seam, just needs to put that ball up the seam. He threw it to the wrong side of his body, and he wasn't able to adjust.
And that was Cody Williams. Williams having a pretty good day, getting a lot of targets, getting open a lot, but so far just the one big catch on that first drive that helped set up DeMatha's field goal.
Great play calling so far by both sides.
Yep. Yeah, I was going to say that route tree was excellent.
This time the give is to Brendan Wyatt, but a flag comes in, or no, Tovani Mizell.
Yeah.
That was Tovani Mizell who had a pretty good cut and run, but a flag comes in that's going to be a hold against DeMatha, and that's going to back them up 10 yards.
More archery with the flags there, right into the field of play.
Well, the one bright side for us is we could see when they're thrown. No surprise. Oh,
That's
long
true.
It's like, oh, there's a penalty flag. Sometimes it's the most exciting part of the play.
Eventually, though, somebody is going to only be able to see until that flag is thrown, and then we're going to have a tragedy on our hands.
Yeah, they might as well shoot a flare up in the air.
They need to cool it with the heat on those fastballs.
Show off the softball arm, man.
DeMatha sets up now for a 2nd down and 19. Another high snap. Gets it down to Mizell, and Mizell's got some room. He's going to take it all the way back to the original line of scrimmage at the 45 to set up a 3rd and 10.
Really nice work by DeMatha's offensive line to create that hole. You could see it all the way.
Something interesting I've noticed is the further back Denzel is from the line of scrimmage, the higher the snap seems to be.
It's like they're trying to get it over his head.
Maybe the center feels like he's got to put a little more juice on it, and he cuts it loose.
Because they were back there. So remember the 50, you count up to the 50, then when you get to the other side.
Couple of men in motion here. Mizell and Remy Robinson both switch to the left side of the line. Mizell switches back. Denzel takes the snap, has to roll out, looking for Mizell, and he's close to the first down, and he's got it. He's got it. He was very close to the sideline, but I don't think it was close enough that cut took him out. And they're going to give them the first down up to the 33-yard line.
Yeah, knock on wood, that feels like a turning point type of play. You know, 3rd and 11. DeMatha hasn't had a whole lot of success on offense. Pass rush gets there, but Gardner's able to buy time and get it to Mizell, and he just makes it happen. That's just individual great play.
Couple of big plays from Mizell there. Deep pistol formation for DeMatha, and the gift is to Mizell, and he makes a cut, runs up the field. He's got it to the 25-yard line.
He is showing some exceptional burst.
Someone lost a mouth guard on that play.
Somebody took it personally that he was not the starter today.
Yeah. He's not even wearing the orange cleats either.
No, he's not.
Yeah.
He's just, you know,
Bud Coombs has him today.
all business.
Which, again, we do appreciate the running backs, wearing different cleats than each other. It does help us tell who is who. Another give to Mizell, and this time doesn't even have to make a cut, just straight up the middle. The ball came out. He might have already been down.
He's down, yeah.
And he is. They're going to mark the ball back where he initially went down, so no fumble on the play there for Mizell, but a huge run down to the 5-yard line. It'll be 1st and goal for DeMatha.
I'm thankful that was a run because Mateo La Quintana was right in the backfield.
He was there. He was coming fast.
Couple of guys have gotten to the backfield. Here comes another man, number 42 that time. We don't have a 42 on our roster for Clarkson
12.
North, but was it 12?
I don't know.
No, because that's Gavin Whittingham.
Yeah.
So it was 42. He's not on our roster, but he made it to the backfield. DeMatha manages to pick up a couple yards instead, down to the 3. And they're looking to the sideline, trying to get the play in. We're likely going to see the officials start counting down the play clock in just a moment, but DeMatha looks set for this play. And, yes, there is a timeout for Clarkson North. They're going to have the defense think a little bit about this one and how they want to defend in the short field.
Odd timeout for Clarkson North, I think.
Maybe a little bit. But if they felt like they didn't have the personnel group for the formation DeMatha was looking to come out there in, you want to try and keep them out of the end zone here. There's only 4 minutes left.
Yeah.
And the way that their offense has been running, I don't know if they're a big play, chunk yardage offense. It seems like they really need to be a little more methodical and piecemeal with their drives, which means that, a field goal might be as far as they can get. So they really want to try and keep DeMatha out of the end zone so that they can still have at least an opportunity to tie the game going into the half.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. What we've seen from Clarkson North, they might be able to hold DeMatha here to a
Their
field
defense
goal.
has been very stout. That said, DeMatha has gotten a lot of big chunk run plays on this drive. You got to wonder if DeMatha's offensive line is starting to figure out how to maneuver the Clarkson North defensive line around and create those holes. Can they close those up now that we're in a short yardage situation? Sometimes you can. You have more personnel on the line of scrimmage, but you never know for sure. Here we do have a give to Mizell, and he is in the end zone for a DeMatha touchdown.
I will say number 42 on Clarkson North has got his hotel room keys for the backfield. He was in there again.
That's a huge score for the Stags. A 3-yard touchdown run for Tovani Mizell. Once again, somebody's late getting onto the field for the extra point unit. Vitko to snap. Byard to hold. Peterson's kick is up and looks like it was blocked, and it is short. It did stay on target, but it fell short of the crossbar, and it is going to stay 9-3 DeMatha.
A little bit of a high snap there. Made Tawfiq Byard have to put it down more quickly than normal.
Unfortunately, didn't have the Tennessee Volunteers magic where the knuckleball drops over the crossbar. Like, what?
What a game that was.
I watched as much of that as I could.
Yeah. If only I had recorded it.
You would have had to extend it probably 3 or 4 times because college football games always take forever. And then they scored 101 points combined, so throw that in there and be there all night.
It's like they were the wrong conference. That's a Big 12 score. That's not an SEC score.
The Big 12-iest SEC game you'll ever see.
Yes.
I'm curious to see what Clarkson North does here because, like we said before that touchdown, they haven't really shown big play potential, but the situation may dictate that they have to go for that. So will they stick with their game plan as it's been, or will they change it up a little bit?
Peterson's kick in the air, a pretty short kick, fielded around the 18-yard line by one of the up men, and number 7 is going to take this past the 35-yard line. That was Christian Salerno, the linebacker, with the return.
They've got great names.
So the 36-yard line is where Clarkson North will begin this drive. They have 4 minutes and 4 seconds on the clock to work with here in the first half. Looking to at least cut this lead in half, if not put themselves in a situation where they could take a lead with an extra point heading into halftime. But first they have to get it down past the 50-yard line before we can even start thinking about scoring.
I think they're going to use that screen check down a lot more this drive because he's going to be much more able to get out of bounds than the rest of the routes.
Winston Chapman passes it outside to Tyrell. Makai Tyrell puts a little move on, gets it up past the 40-yard line.
Yeah, those jitterbug moves, man, that turns that from a 1-yard gain into a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to call it a 4-yard gain officially right to the 40.
I thought it got a little further than that.
I thought so too. I thought he was past the 40-yard line, but
ref shortchanged him a bit, but it works to DeMatha's benefit, so I guess I shouldn't complain too much. taking their sweet time.
Yes, they are. We've already used 50 seconds off the clock as this handoff goes for a few more yards. It'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it a long 3. Maybe right at 3 yards to go. So once again, not in any sort of a rush. It's almost like they're playing to prevent DeMatha from having another opportunity to score rather than to try and score themselves.
Well,
and keep in mind that DeMatha gets the ball to start the second half.
Yeah.
So you really don't want to go into halftime having not scored any more points if you're Clarkson North, because that puts you in a situation where you could be down 2 possessions.
But the problem is when you play not to lose, you're probably going to lose anyways.
Yep. That does tend to be the case. Tyson
Especially
Charles
when you're
handles
already
that.
losing.
Yes. Tyson Charles handles that carry, and he does pick up the 1st down, getting close to or actually right at midfield now for Clarkson North. And clock stops for the 1st down. 2 minutes and 22 seconds to play here in the first half. Winston Chapman hands it off, and great job by the DeMatha defense. Looks like that was Brian Bates again.
Yeah.
Yep, Brian Bates once again living in the backfield today.
These 1st down runs are just puzzling at this point.
Especially in this situation with the clock ticking.
Yeah.
They've got timeouts. They don't seem all that interested in using them.
So we've now got a 2nd down and 11 situation. The clock continuing to run under 1:45. It's Caleb Sargent in the backfield again for this play. Lost a yard on his last carry. Chapman takes the snap, looking to throw, and he is taken down hard. There's a flag coming in after the Jason Moore sack.
For 3.
They put that one with a little arc on it to get over the offensive line.
And it looks like that's going to be a hold on Clarkson North. It is declined, so the sack by Jason Moore will stand. It'll go in his stat sheet for him. The Ohio State commit, making his presence felt here late in the first half. And the clock has stopped. DeMatha, I believe, called a timeout there, figuring maybe they might get the ball in a good position to try and score some more points. So we'll see what Clarkson North does here. They have converted some long 3rd downs here. This one, a 3rd and 14.
Expect them to use the route tree to their advantage again. Probably have a comeback and then a crossing route.
They have 4 wide, a tight end. Really more like an up back here as he sends a man in motion. He's going to toss it over the middle and way out in front of 2 receivers who were, for some reason, in the same area as each other. That makes it a lot easier for the defensive backs to cover.
Yeah.
It looked like they were both trying to run goes, but the quarterback had to get rid of the ball way too quickly for that to happen. They were not ready for the ball at all.
Yeah.
So with 50 seconds to play here in the first half, Clarkson North is maybe not going to punt it away. Yes, they are going to punt it away. They got the quarterback was out there for quite some time. I was beginning to wonder.
If they don't want to, they don't have to, right? They can go for it.
But Gabriel Canabrava is out there to send this one away.
Maybe they'll do a fake.
It's a long way to try a fake.
Yeah, but
you better have a pretty good play call if you're going to call a fake.
Ooh, high punt. Almost overshot the punter, but he does get it off. And Tate decided to field it. He's trying to try and return it. And it seems like maybe the officials just aren't seeing illegal blocks in the back by anybody.
Yeah. They're seeing
particularly from DeMatha.
Yeah, they see every hold under the sun, but special teams, not so much.
Yep. So Christian Tate with a pretty solid return up to the 39-yard line. With only 38 seconds left, though, will DeMatha push it? We're going to see.
Bishop McNamara snap there.
Yep, we got a friend in the booth. It's a moth.
Where is he? He's coming to join us.
He's over here bothering our switchboard operator. Oh, that handoff to Mizell. Mizell makes a nice spin move to pick up positive yardage.
That might
Finally
be
driven out of bounds by number 5 on the defense, Onachi Amuda.
That was a
Sorry
nice
if I'm mispronouncing it. It's Onachi or Onuchi, but Amuda with a really nice job to eventually take him out of bounds, but a great spin by Mizell.
And that was a nice hit, too. Just a nice bam.
So we've got a 2nd down and 6 now for the Stags. 31 seconds on the clock. Mizell again gets the give. He's taking it off tackle. Another flag comes in as he takes it out of bounds near the Clarkson North 40-yard line. Probably another hold, though. Seems like that's been the penalty of the day.
Denzel's vertical jump is really helping him today as well.
We had National Tight Ends Day in the NFL this past Sunday. Today seems to be National Holding Day. So that's going to back DeMatha up quite a bit. Or maybe not quite as much as we thought. The play was pretty far upfield at that point. So it's going to be 2nd down and 12 now for DeMatha.
Yeah, you got to figure DeMatha's probably going to play it safe here. Just try to get to halftime. Russell Wilson will be proud of Clarkson North, though.
And
got a nice runner pass call there. Nice,
nice
work.
little gain here for Tovani Mizell. That'll get DeMatha about half of what they needed. It'll be 3rd down and 6. $16 seconds remaining in the first half. Man in motion. Gardner takes the snap, gives it to Mizell, and he finds some space.
Oh.
Can he cut it back and find enough room? He runs out of bounds, and there's still 8 seconds on the clock near the 30-yard line. Not quite in Jackson Peterson's field goal range, but they're getting closer. They got 7 seconds and 1 timeout remaining.
Just try to get 4 yards in about 3 seconds.
It's a really nice job to reverse course. It was also a really nice job by that official to get out of the way. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but that was a hard jump cut for the official to avoid Tovani Mizell as he reversed field. And no handoff here. They're going to run it and pass out of bounds. And Alvin Thornton has the catch at the 1st down marker. It's going to be a 1st down to the 20-yard line, and 4 seconds, only 4 seconds ran off the clock there. There's a lot of running by Denzel Gardner, and there is a flag on the field as well. So that's certainly going to influence the outcome of this play.
Flag's downfield.
No, the flag is right back here at the 35.
Oh, there's another flag at the 20 as well.
Oh, is there?
That's what I was
I'm not sure if the location with how far they're
So
throwing
hold.
it today.
It looks like it was
too much.
So there were 2 penalties on DeMatha. One was declined. The hold is accepted. That's going to be a replay 1st down situation, but they're going to lose some yards. Looks like they're going to lose about 7-ish yards. So it'll be a 1st and long for DeMatha. Oh, no, they are backing it up even more.
Well, so much for that field goal try.
Wow. That is – that's a loss. That's 16 yards right there.
Yeah.
Was somebody really 6 yards behind the line of scrimmage holding? We've seen a few of those today, and all of them have been a little bit puzzling to me.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be a 15-yard penalty, but I feel like that's what they've been marking off for some reason. Handoff is to Brendan Wyatt, and he's going to drive forward, taking tacklers with him past the 40-yard line. But that will take the final seconds off the clock here in the first half, and DeMatha takes a 9-3 lead into the half here against Clarkson North. What have you guys seen so far in this game from DeMatha?
Their front seven's winning, that's for sure. Clarkson North skill position players are finding a way to make something out of nothing. That's why they have 3 points instead of 0. It's why they've been able to sustain some drives to keep their offense on the field. It'll be interesting to see if they can have any more effect up front, because they're going to need to if they want to win this game. You can't just expect to have 9-minute field goal drives and win the football game.
Biggest play of the first half, Steven.
I think you have to you can't give one. I have to give it to Clarkson North. And, Clarkson North's missteps with the fumble recovered by Dante Lovett. But, what I'm seeing is a lot of illegal blocks in the back. I think
That have not been called.
That have not been called, yeah. But
All right.
I don't know. I think it's been a good first half. Great for Clarkson North, but DeMatha should be doing better at this point.
Yeah. Close game here. We're going to take a break here for about 15 minutes, and we will rejoin you for second half action shortly right here on DM Stags TV. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back into the booth as we are getting pretty close to second half action. DeMatha is still huddling down there at about the 100-meter mark, so probably have a little bit more than the minute that is remaining on the stadium clock. But we are getting ready for second half action here at Marvin F. Wilson Stadium. DeMatha Catholic and Clarkson North from Mississauga, Ontario, up in Canada. If you're joining us a little bit late, we had O Canada as well as the United States national anthem during the pregame. And pretty low-scoring game here so far, gentlemen. A field goal opened the scoring for DeMatha at the 7:23 mark of the first quarter, a 30-yarder by Jackson Peterson, followed by a 26-yard field goal by Gabriel Canabrava after a very long 8-minute and 44-second drive by Clarkson North. Really methodical, moving the ball down the field a little bit at a time. Had a lot of third and longs on that drive that they managed to convert. But that tied it 3-3. And then late in the first half, 4 minutes and 10 seconds remaining, Tovani Mizell with the first touchdown of the game, a 3-yarder, and a missed field goal, or a missed extra point rather, is why the score is 9-3. So, gentlemen, talk a little bit about what you expect to see here in the second half. So let's start with Clarkson North, the visitors from the north.
Basically the same thing. I think they might be doing a bit more screens and a bit more play-action passes, but I still see the same thing. Run on first down, get maybe 2 yards on second down, get that chunk on third down. I think they're going to score more points and be more successful.
Can they consistently get those chunks on third down if they continually put themselves in third and long situations?
I think they can. They've done it so far. I mean, it's odd how they're doing it, but they're still doing it.
But at the end of the day, they still only got 3 points in the first half. So,
but DeMatha only got 9.
That's true.
And a big part of the reason that they only got 3 points is because of that fumble by Gavin Withingham there late in the first half that Dante Lovett managed to find and return for a pretty big gain for DeMatha back past midfield. But Clarkson North had something cooking on that drive and really looked like they had a chance to take the lead. It was only 3-3 at the time.
And it should probably have been 10-3 right now. Clarkson North, not DeMatha. So DeMatha's, they're kind of lucky right now.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how the second half goes. And on that note, what do we expect to see from the Stags in the second half, Eric?
I think I'd like to see them take advantage of their opportunities. They had some opportunities for some big pass plays, but Gardner wasn't able to connect. I think those will still be there. So find a big play, put together a short touchdown drive, do something of that nature, flip the momentum of this game, and take it home.
I think a key for the second half is going to be the Stags' run game. Is it going to be like what we saw in the first half where there really wasn't a whole lot of running room to be found for DeMatha, or is it going to be more like we saw in the last 2 drives where Tovani Mizell was running wild and Brendan Wyatt was finding space to get big chunks of yardage on the ground? If it's the latter, DeMatha is probably in a good position to extend their lead rather than give it up. If it's the former, then it's really going to come down to the passing game, which we haven't seen DeMatha really try to get to since early in the game when you had the 2 overthrows by Denzel, the one to where he just barely missed Christian Tate on a go route, and then the one to Cody Williams in the end zone. And we've seen a couple of other throws over the middle that missed the mark, but we haven't really seen him try to stretch the field, even though on those 2 plays, our receivers were burning the defensive backs for Clarkson North.
But I understand I'm not throwing the ball because Clarkson North is getting in the backfield quick. I mean, I would, at this point, maybe do a quick slant or do some bubble screens, but now is not the time to go deep when Clarkson North is giving you only a second and a quarter to throw the football.
Yeah, I think that's why you saw DeMatha have some success on their drives later, is because those edge rushers were getting home and even over-pursuing a little bit, so that opened up those running lanes up the middle, and Mizell and Wyatt were able to take advantage of that.
Over-pursuit can be disastrous in the run game. Let's talk a little bit about some stuff that's coming up for DeMatha. I think we have a couple of graphics for tonight's game. And let's see, what do we want to start with? Why don't we start with you choose, Will. Leave it dealer's choice. So we'll start with some upcoming events around DeMatha. You can take a look. Long list of things that are coming up, but one of the ones we certainly want to highlight is going to be the food drive, which is going to be starting up here shortly. In fact, faculty members got the handouts in their mailboxes that they can start referring to as we head into next week in the beginning of the second quarter. Start letting the students know what sorts of things they can bring in. And, of course, every year we make it a house competition, which is a lot of fun. And if we raise a certain number of cans, I don't know yet what that number is. I don't know if they've announced it yet, but they will shortly.
I don't think they have.
But if we raise a certain number of cans or dollars, I think it's like $1 per can. Then we will get a day off, and it's usually the day after the Super Bowl. Or no, it's the day after Thanksgiving. Yes, the Super Bowl is something different. We usually get that day off in quotations.
Yeah, close enough.
It's a Cyber Day for us.
But I mean it's close enough.
Close enough.
When do you have to bargain for the day after Thanksgiving? We used to always get that day off.
Well, now we have to bargain for it.
Yeah,
it's a way to encourage us to give.
But they're taking something away from you.
Only if we don't give.
But but this is more stick than carrot, it seems. You're being
I do have to agree, but I mean, we've never missed it though.
I'm just an alum who doesn't work for the school, so I'll just keep my mouth shut.
After he's already opened.
But I'm just saying, I'm just saying.
So some other stuff on there. Of course, we got the All Saints Day Mass on Tuesday of this coming week. You can watch that on the DeMatha Facebook page.
I guess it's November already.
Yeah, right. I know. It's crazy.
Flies.
So we'll be streaming that live on Tuesday during the school day, and some other stuff on there. Upcoming broadcasts for DM Stags TV. We've got another football game next Friday, but we are not going to be broadcasting that one. That game against Good Counsel is going to be Flow Football again.
Womp womp.
Yeah, so we apologize that you won't get to hear our voices on that broadcast, but you will get to watch that game if you can't make it out in person on Flow Football. And we're keeping an eye on the basketball schedule to see when our first game is going to be for broadcasting that. Right now, it's looking like early-ish December. I think that there's a freshman game against Bullis, and then JV and varsity both play against Eleanor Roosevelt. So we'll likely broadcast that, but then the other home games in December are part of the Hoops Fest, which are not ours to broadcast. So you won't get to see us again on the court until January on DM Stags TV. But we'll keep you guys up to date on that. And we are also looking for a couple of hockey games that we can broadcast.
Oh, that'll be great.
So it's been a few years. It's been a few years since we've done hockey, but I'd love to bring that back. As we get started with the second half kickoff, we kind of ran.
It's a good kick there.
Yeah, I lost track of what was going on the field as Dante Lovett has a great lane to run upfield. A couple men to beat, and he's taken down from behind. But a great return by Dante Lovett to the 46-yard line.
And I did not see any missed illegal block in the back.
Really, I saw one.
Oh,
I saw one.
Just one, though.
There was only one. It wasn't terribly blatant, but it was there.
Okay.
Oh, man. So
right
we did.
there.
So we did just barely get that on screen as we all got caught napping a little bit.
Well, I was watching. I don't know what you were doing.
I was talking about hockey and how excited we are to bring that back. Yeah. So we were considering. There's a home game against St. John's, but unfortunately it's the same day as the WCAC football championship. So if DeMatha is in that, I don't know if we can broadcast that. But
are we broadcasting the WCAC?
And hopefully we're in that. Well, no. So WCAC playoff games we can't broadcast because those are like
First Amendment.
Yeah, so First Amendment has done it for the past few years, and I would imagine they're continuing to do that. But the league is in charge of who gets to broadcast that. A home game for us is not really our game. So DeMatha loses yards on the first play of the drive. It's going to be 2nd down and 10. Denzel Gardner in the shotgun. And another handoff and a nice run, angry run by Brendan Wyatt as he trucks a defender, refuses to go down on first contact, and has a big first down carry to about the 32-yard line.
That shows what I talked about a little bit just before we got back to action here. The run to the outside got blown up for a loss of 2, went right back up the middle, big gain.
So they'll put it down at the 31-yard line. And DeMatha cooking here on their first drive of the second half, trying to make this a 2-possession game.
Clarkson North should just stop blitzing at this point, too. DeMatha's just going to run the ball right at
A
the
lot
middle.
of men in the box. A man offside,
Oh.
and they're going to go ahead and blow that dead. I think a man moved on the offensive line, which kills the play on the offside. So it should be encroachment on the defense, but not offsides. They could not continue the play.
It's hilarious at this point to see how they're throwing the flags. I mean,
It's a little chilly out there, too, man. You
Yeah.
got to take care of your elbows and your
Yeah.
shoulders. They must have warmed up before the game, too.
I know. They
A
must
lot
have
of
been
guys
doing the
who-
javelin pregame.
A lot of guys who are mad that they're not the quarterback. First down and 5 now for DeMatha following the encroachment penalty. Brendan Wyatt off tackle has a nice gain. He's going to be near the first down marker. I'm not sure if he quite got there. Looks like they're going to mark him about a yard short.
Well, if the refs are that upset about not being quarterback, they could always sign up for Bishop Sycamore. Just saying.
They always need someone new there.
And they take adults, so, you know.
So they did give Brendan Wyatt enough yards for the first down. Right at the 21-yard line. Cody Williams in the slot near the bottom of your screen for the Stags. High snap just hauled in by Denzel Gardner, who is going to put it over his receiver's head through the end zone. It'll be second down.
I'm glad he put more on that than I initially thought. It looked like he was throwing it up
Yeah.
for grabs. Had me a little concerned.
Again, it's funny. The further back Denzel is from the line of scrimmage, the higher the snap is. That vertical jump is coming in handy today.
Imagine his legs are going to be very tired tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's basically doing box jumps all day. Another sort of high snap. Gets it down to Brendan Wyatt, and he's going to take that up near the 15-yard line. We'll call it the 16, so it'll be third down and 5. Gardner takes a snap. That one a little bit better. Gives it to Wyatt, and another flag is coming in. Wyatt has enough for the first down, but a flag, and it looks like it's going to be likely another hold. It certainly came from
got
the area
jet
of holding,
engines
and
on
it
the
is.
side.
So DeMatha is going to be backed up here on third down.
Maybe they're former discus throwers or something like that. These
They ever have like the Nerf Vortex type of thing where it whistles as
Yeah, oh, man.
So it's now going to be third down, and we'll call that 17, 18? 17 yards to go for the Stags. Ball's at the 28-yard line. And another high snap.
He's sacked.
Man gets into the backfield. Denzel has to roll out. And he finds Christian
Nice play.
Tate over
Wow.
the middle, and he has got a first down well inside the 10-yard line, down near the 5.
Talk about making it happen on that play. That play looked doomed from the start, and it turns into a first down.
That was a great throw on the run by Denzel Gardner, finding Christian Tate. We haven't seen Gardner run yet today.
No. But I'm surprised. He's a great runner.
He is, and we see him run quite a bit, but he's been standing in the pocket, and when he does have to roll out, he's still got his eyes upfield, which is great to see. Man in motion. Oh, way too high that time. Gardner just has to fall on it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see who's in the middle of the line. Is it 58? Is Brandon Smith starting at center today? Because I feel like
think
we were
it
not
is
seeing this
Brandon
early
Smith.
in the season,
Yeah.
and Brandon Smith's been starting since the beginning of the year.
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing this be such an issue until.
Well, guess what? He's coming out of the game.
Yeah, he is. Until maybe the game after or the game before McNamara. Like, that was the first time I really noticed that being a significant issue. So we'll try and see who it is that is replacing Brandon Smith on the offensive line. But there is a flag coming in, a false start on the offense.
It's like those flags are coming out of the Jack in the Box.
And so after a big loss on first down on the high snap, we're going to lose another 5 yards back near the 20-yard line for the Stags. And it'll be second down and goal from 20 yards away. Did you see who it is?
I think it is.
Do you think they maybe brought in Noah Vitko? It's a
I don't
low
think so.
snap there, but
Yeah.
he picks it up,
Ooh,
and he's
nice
got it
grab
over the
in the
middle.
middle, yeah.
Is that Riley Ferran, number 23? Can you see that?
That is 23. That's Riley.
23.
Nice job,
Riley
Riley.
Ferran. I believe this is his first start of the season.
Oh, no, I think it's. Yeah, that is Riley.
Riley Ferran
Nice job,
with the
Riley.
touchdown. The tight end over the middle.
That was a really slick little play there.
Yeah.
They just send the tight end right
We'll
at the
call this National Tight Ends Week.
Week, yeah. No, I think it's Riley Ferran Day.
There
That's
you
what it
go.
should
I
be
think
called.
we all like the sound of that
Yeah.
too.
Nice job, Riley.
So a 20-yard touchdown pass, and we've got Tawfiq Bard on the hold, Vitko to snap, Peterson's kick,
Sky high.
sky high and good. 16-3 the score here, 7:30 remaining in the third quarter.
pretty resilient drive by DeMatha, though. There were a couple of times where it looked like they were going to stall out. Had third down, picked up a nice completion on a pass play to get them first and goal. Then they had the botched snap and then the penalty, but then just answered right back with a 20-yard touchdown pass.
It's great, and he goes to Riley. Riley Ferran, that makes me smile.
Well, it especially makes me smile because was it 2 years ago or 1 year ago?
It was. I think it was last year.
I think it was last year where maybe the first game of the season, we were calling a game, and he caught a touchdown pass that I mistakenly attributed to somebody else. I don't remember who I gave it to, but he caught a really nice pass in the back corner of the end zone, back at that pylon, and I miscalled it. So now I get to correctly call a touchdown pass to Riley Ferran, which definitely makes me smile.
Here for you, Corey?
A little bit of web redemption, yeah, some Tosh.0 reference there.
Now, on the over-under,
Once again, aging ourselves.
Is that show still on the air?
I don't think so.
Because that show went like 12 seasons. So
If it is, it's not on Comedy Central anymore. I was watching the last season of that.
That's how
It had kind of it had gone downhill, and I stopped watching for a while. It was a little bit too over the top.
It felt like a Simpsons-esque run was coming where it existed about 22 years longer than it should have.
Now, what's
Jackson Peterson with the kick.
What's the over/under on illegal blocks in the back? Or
One.
Guess,
1.5. I'll probably take the under there.
Yeah.
Oh,
nice hit.
Ooh, great hit there on the return.
It's not fun to run into a brick wall.
In that situation, it might not be fun to be the brick wall either. Big collision there at about the, call it the 30-yard line. Although, well, maybe a little bit before that because the ball is going to be placed back at the 22. Again, I could have sworn that the ball was further upfield than that.
Yeah.
Well, no, actually, I'm watching the replay right now. It was right around the 26-yard line, so there you go. I was wrong.
Wonder what interesting array of penalties we will see on this drive.
I'm more curious about the guys throwing the flags, to be honest.
I'm more curious about who's throwing the ball. So
it's another
Clarkson North tosses it out, and nothing doing for Mekhi Tyrell. Taken down in the backfield.
There's that screen check down route, but the problem was it wasn't set up properly, so there was only one man to block two guys, and that doesn't really work. So
not usually.
That's the tricky part, though, when your playbook is reliant on screens and plays like that. It requires high levels of execution. You're not just going to bully people. You're certainly not going to bully this DeMatha team, which is a big part of the reason why they're up. I mean, it's going to be really difficult for Clarkson to be able to methodically move down the field and score 2 touchdowns now with only about a quarter and a half left, especially if DeMatha's offense can sustain drives when they get the ball back, too.
Dante Lovett playing press coverage here on Tyrell. And they're looking out in that direction, but Tyrell couldn't get his head turned around. The ball was thrown behind him and out of bounds, incomplete.
Yeah, it looked like he and the corner were engaged the entire time. No real effort to try to find the ball, and incomplete.
It was a big flop after the play, but one of the offensive linemen, I couldn't catch his number, but you can see it right there.
Not so much a flop. I think he just lost his balance, but he did take a nosedive.
Well, anytime an offensive line takes a spill, it's always going to stand out. You know, big fellas out there.
Third down and a long 10 to go for Clarkson North. Winston Chapman.
Crowd's getting fired up.
Again, press
Yeah.
coverage by Dante Lovett. They're going to swing it out.
Oh, that was a
just
good
barely
catch.
pulled in.
He's got the – oh, no.
Yeah, well covered by DeMatha on the far sideline.
Yeah, he needed to make that catch because that looked like that could have been a backwards pass.
Yeah.
as well.
It was definitely a backwards pass.
Using the stick-em on those gloves to his advantage.
Jerry Rice would be proud.
So picked up about 4 yards, but it is going to be 4th down, and Clarkson North is going to have to set up to punt this one away.
I'd say this has to be their last punt of the game if they're trying to win. I would hope they're trying to win, but you never know.
Gabriel Canabrava is going to send this one deep. Low kick once again, right to Christian Tate, and he slips one tackle, and he's gone. Nobody is going to catch Christian Tate when he gets that kind of space.
That kind of space and that head of speed coming up to field the punt, no chance.
Yeah. I mean, he's going faster than those flags are going. So
I don't think anybody had time to commit an illegal block in the back on
no,
that.
he was
already
gone,
too
yeah.
late. Yeah.
He had the ball, and then somehow he had the ball 40 yards upfield a second later.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So DeMatha will kick the extra point here, leading 22-3 after a 57-yard punt return touchdown by Christian Tate. Tawfiq Bauer to hold, Noah Vitko the snap. Jackson Peterson's kick is good. Yes, good.
Yeah, our lone official was a little hesitant that time.
23-3. Stags lead by 20 after a very tightly contested first half. DeMatha opens it up a little bit. 20-yard touchdown pass from Denzel Gardner to Riley Ferran, and then less than 2 minutes later, a 57-yard punt return touchdown by Christian Tate. Not the first punt return touchdown we've gotten to call here on DM Stags TV this season.
Called 4. Let's see. There was one in Rock Creek, if I remember right.
Yes.
There was at least
And there was,
one
and
at
he had returned a punt for a touchdown the week
Week
before
before
that,
that,
so
yes.
we didn't get to call that, but we did reference it. And then yes, I think there was a punt. Let me see. Against McNamara, there was it was a kickoff return, and then a punt block return touchdown as well. Plus a couple of interception return touchdowns, and then of course the fumble return touchdown for McNamara that resulted in their only points of the day. Jackson Peterson will kick this one away. We are just past the halfway mark of the third quarter.
Suddenly the dream of a running clock is not totally dead.
Low kick, barely fielded, and
Got
manages to find some room past the 25 to the 30-yard line. I believe that was Tyson Charles, number 33, with a solid return for Clarkson North, right up to the 33-yard line.
Very solid, especially after he fumbled the low kick. So.
Yeah. Had some trouble recovering it back near the 5-yard line. Still got a lot of yards out of it. So we'll see what Clarkson North comes out with. They had some stuff going on offense in the first half, but so far nothing doing in the second half. And you almost feel like that might be playing out of the end of the first half when they completely gave up any idea of scoring to try and tie the game. They were playing not to lose, and instead now they find themselves down by an additional 2 touchdowns halfway through the third quarter.
I think the fumble made it really, put some salt in the wounds, made it just really, really awful for them. So
about a 4-yard run on first down by Brandon Ward. Set up a 2nd down and 6, make it 2nd down and 5 for DeMatha, or for Clarkson North rather. Chapman looking to pass. We have not called his name in a little while. This is Gavin Withingham, who is going to have a first down for Clarkson North up past the 40-yard line and near the 45.
I think he ran out of bounds, so I'm
Yeah.
not sure why the clock is still going, but
Oh, did he? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. But it is still running. In any case, about a 10-yard gain to the 44-yard line, and that's a first down for Clarkson North.
another one of those screen plays.
Yeah, when they've executed it well, it's worked out really nicely for them, but they haven't been super consistent. 2 receivers split to the bottom of our screen, 1 to the top. Chapman fakes the give, gets it out to Withingham once again, and he's going to be hit hard by Jacob Wallace and eventually ridden out of bounds by Robert Stevens III. That's going to be about a 4-yard gain, maybe 5.
Now the clock needs to
The ref
stop.
signaled wind the clock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess maybe forward progress was stopped.
Yeah, could have been.
Coughing on cue.
Oh, was it on cue?
Yes, it was.
That was remarkable, yeah.
Completely accidental. Once again, Withingham with the catch on the screen, out to the side, gets it past midfield. It's going to be third down, but manageable here for Clarkson North.
Still a good tackle by DeMatha on that one. We've seen sometimes Clarkson's been a little shifty, been able to get a couple extra yards here and there. Not that time.
Yeah, we've seen it from both of their receivers. Mekhi Tyrell and Gavin Withingham have both been able to shake defenders a few times today. It's going to be third down and 3.
I mean, this has got to be 4-down territory.
Oh, definitely.
Down
I mean,
20 points across midfield.
especially with the type of offense they're running.
And late third quarter. Bit of a high snap, gets it down, and not a lot of running room. He's not going to get there. He barely got back to the line of scrimmage. That was Tyson Charles on the carry.
That was a foolish play call. Those shotgun runs up the middle just have not worked.
Now you got to understand where your advantages are, or even if you don't have any advantages, you got to know where your biggest disadvantages are, and up the middle is certainly not where you want to live.
This could have been a situation where they kind of, outplayed call themselves, where they're figuring it's third down and 3, and we're in 4-down territory. Let's just try and pick up a yard or 2, but then they wound up not picking up any of it. And can you risk running it here? I mean, it's only 3 yards to go, but still, do you need to throw? Whereas you could have thrown it twice, right? If the first one didn't work, you would have had a second try. Let's see what they come out with here, and it looks like they're going to take a timeout and think this over. Yep. Clarkson North's going to take a quick timeout, and let's see. I think we have one more graphic that we can pull up on screen from our video broadcast students. Let's take a look at the upcoming games. So these are the upcoming games for DeMatha football. We've got freshman football against Eleanor Roosevelt. That is at Eleanor Roosevelt on November 2nd. JV football plays against Good Counsel at Good Counsel on November 2nd as well. And then, of course, our next football game, our last regular season game, is right here at the PG Sports and Learning Complex against Good Counsel a week from today. Another big upcoming event for DeMatha that was not on that graphic, the DeMatha cross country team is racing in the WCAC Championship tomorrow morning.
Where?
And it's free.
It is free. It is free to go and watch. Yeah, everybody should come out and support. Yeah. So it is going to be at Kenilworth Park in Northeast DC. It's right off the Anacostia River. And 10 a.m. the freshman boys run. We've got a pretty strong freshman team. Not sure how the other teams stack up, so whether we can win that or not sure, but I believe it'd be our first championship in the freshman race if we do get it. Our JV team is expected to win. They race at 10:30, and our varsity team has a chance to win. That race is at 11:30 as Clarkson North breaks a huge run and a huge first down. Number 21, Caleb Sargent, comes back in the game, and he was on a mission, took it all the way up to the 30-yard line.
Yeah, that play looked as dead as the previous play, but he managed to find a hole. Big game, first down.
The fish out of water evolves to live on land. It should be a nice brisk morning for that cross-country meet, too.
Yes, it should
About
be.
50
It'll be nice.
degrees.
It'll probably be around 50 around race time, but it is supposed to get up into the low 60s as a high
yeah.
temperature tomorrow. So it should be great conditions. And DeMatha is trying to get their first team championship since 2006. That was wicked hit.
Yeah.
I believe that was Robert Stevens III who laid the hammer on Mackay Tyrell, but he managed to haul in the catch and pick up 6 yards for Clarkson North.
A little bit of a hospital pass there. Throw was high,
Yeah.
leading him in towards traffic. Took a big hit, but credit to him. He held on, and he's doing okay. I don't think I would be.
If the ball was thrown just maybe a foot in front of him, he would have not gotten the snot knocked out of him,
Yeah.
and he probably would have gained a few more yards.
You know, worried about player safety and picking up yards, it would
Yeah.
have been a win-win.
So a good gain, though, on first down. 2nd down and 2 coming up for Clarkson North. Man
Big
gets in
blitz.
the backfield. Yes, it was a big blitz, and it did get home as Brian Bates meets Caleb Sargent right at the line of scrimmage. No gain, maybe even a loss of a couple feet.
That should probably take us to the end of the quarter.
Yeah, the quarter is down to 5 seconds. They are not going to get another play off. So we are going to flip sides of the field once again for the last time tonight, unless we have an overtime period, which is not completely out of the question. It is only a 20-point lead, but DeMatha leads 23-3 heading into the final frame.
You know, there's a song, War, What Is It Good For? It should be for Clarkson North, Running, What Is It Good For? They've done almost nothing on the ground and need to stop running the ball.
This is the opposite of a blindside situation.
Oh.
What were you trying to get at the concession stand? What were you trying to get at the concession stand? Fries? You want this?
Man, we got a hookup coming here.
You turned around and ran so quick, I would have got the stuff for you. I just told them I was up in the booth. So I just bought the stuff. Thank you.
You know, it's also funny that Clarkson North is running the ball so much because Canadian football is such a pass-oriented game.
Clearly, they don't prescribe to the Canadian way.
Yes. I guess they ride the bus instead of the booth.
So somebody has kindly let us know on the YouTube chat that number 35 is not actually Brian Bates.
Oh.
It is Antonio Green, who is listed as number 57 on our roster. So
Little switcheroo there.
yeah, we've had a few switcheroos. So Brendan Bates is listed as 35 on the official roster. He actually wears 33.
Right.
But we assumed that maybe he was 35 today because we had another couple other players be switched with their numbers.
Yeah.
Can we not do that?
I don't know.
It throws us completely off up here in the booth.
It's Jersey musical chairs today, apparently.
But yes, thank you to whoever is watching and letting us know. So that's been Antonio Green every time that we have called Brian Bates' name today because it's always been number 35.
Yeah.
Clarkson with a 7-yard run to the right side on the previous play, by the way.
Yes, thank you,
Yes,
Eric.
thank
I
you.
appreciate it. And that's a first down for Clarkson North.
It's third down.
They have a first down marker.
Oh, it
Yeah.
says third down on the scoreboard.
Yeah, that's not
Score-
correct.
oh,
Score is
ooh,
unofficial.
Go.
There's a pass to Withingham. Not a whole lot there. Maybe a yard and a half. It'll be second down and long.
Well, I guess now screens, what are they good for either? They need to,
They've been good for them sometimes.
Screens can be a little tricky in the
Yeah.
red zone, though.
yeah.
50% of the time, they've been good all the time.
That doesn't make sense.
It didn't make sense when Yogi Berra said it.
Yeah.
What was it?
He
Was
said,
it Yogi?
he said 90% of the game is half mental, is
Oh.
what he said.
Well, somebody
He's-
said
he's a-
60% of
you're
the
a
time.
Yankees fan.
Does Yogi Berra
Yeah.
make sense, period?
No.
Yeah, Brian Fantana said that in Anchorman.
Oh,
That's
is
not
that what it
That's
was?
a movie.
I assume that everything is a Yogi-ism because he always said
Yeah.
things like that.
We know 50% of the time, 0% of the time, Yogi Berra makes sense.
There you go. I'm not sure I followed
Apparently,
that, but
Yogi Berra
I'm good.
also stole pillows from every hotel room he ever
Well, I
stayed
mean,
at.
that's just
That's
practical.
smart idea. Yeah.
What else are you going to do?
Fake handoff, and the quarterback keeper there by Winston Chapman went pretty much nowhere. Maybe another yard.
I mean, if they add a service fee, those pillows are
well,
probably
maybe that's
worth
why
it.
there are service fees now. Maybe it's Yogi Berra's fault.
That just means that everybody should steal their stuff.
Yeah.
And we're already paying for it, you know.
You're paying to borrow it for a night.
That's not how I see it.
4 receiver set. Tyson Charles in the backfield with Winston Chapman. Chapman back to pass, looking toward the end zone and picked.
Yep, nice play.
Tawfiq Byard with the interception in the end zone. That will be a touchback for DeMatha, and that ends the scoring threat for Clarkson North, preserving a 20-point lead for DeMatha with 9:37 remaining in the fourth quarter.
It's just not a particularly good play call. DeMatha was all over it.
Double
It was well
coverage.
covered. Yeah, I mean, Byard came over, and he was there in plenty of time to make the interception. I mean, this was not a Ronnie Lott type of play. He just knew it was coming, and he got right there and made the play. So credit to him, but also not sure. We haven't seen that play called all game.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why.
Well, I think even Yogi Berra would agree that 0 out of 2 in the red zone is pretty bad.
Laurent Chinhakwe is on here lying on the chat, saying that I said the Astros are going to win the World Series.
I don't think so,
I
Laurent.
officially took the Phillies in 7 on the Sports Ballers podcast on Wednesday night.
But that's just because you're bitter.
So that's my pick.
You have to realize Laurent's takes are just they ruin the average of everyone else's takes. Everyone else's takes are so much better than all of Laurent's. Well, now that running clock would be coming in handy right now, but I mean,
Well, 2nd down and 7 for the Stags after a 3-yard gain on 1st down, and Tavani Mizell rather wiggling his way forward for a gain of about 4. We'll call this
And we got a flag.
3rd down and
after the play.
3. And yes, surprise, surprise, a flag comes in, and it looks like a DeMatha player is on the field. I think he just lost a shoe.
Yeah, it looked like that.
yeah.
The referee was not as enthusiastic about that one. That was an underhanded
Yeah,
toss.
geez.
Maybe he's getting tired. He's thrown plenty of them.
Yeah.
Yep. And
That's a lot
Tavani
of
Mizell is going to jog off the field. I don't know if it
looked
was
like it
just
was
the
a
shoe and
shoe.
he needs to adjust it, or if he got maybe a little bit of a tweaked ankle. But Brendan Wyatt's going to check into the game for at least a play here.
Yeah, it looked like he just lost the shoe. He came up looking normal, and then he had to go back and retrieve the shoe.
Yeah.
Maybe the shoe accounts for the enthusiasm loss
Oh, from the ref?
from the ref. I mean, you never know. A
Maybe-
shoe for a flag.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know the math of how refs decide how excited they get about throwing flags. Maybe we should ask them. This is where we've gotten to in this broadcast. We're talking about shoes to flag throw ratios or something.
So that penalty is going to be against the Stags, and the officials are going to mark this one off. It'll be is it going to be 3rd down? They still have the 3 up on the marker, but if this is a hold, it should be a replay the down.
It looked like it was after the play, though.
Okay, well, so if it was after the play, then yes, the down would count. It is 3rd down and long, very long for the Stags. Call it 16 yards to go for a 1st down.
Anything new from Laurent? Yeah, okay.
We'll get to it in a
We'll get to
second,
it.
but
Let's see. Yep.
Denzel Gardner trying to spin out and not able to do so. So Clarkson North is going to get the ball back again here.
But what?
I love how Laurent decides to bring Deshaun into this
Oh, no,
now.
this is interesting.
Like, it's not enough that Laurent is just spreading stuff, but now he's going to try and say that Deshaun is saying that I picked Judge to go to the Mets, which I would never, ever do. Why would I ever predict my favorite player to go to a team that is not my favorite team?
Yeah.
It's just being objective. I don't know. He's not going to the Mets, though.
I am
ridiculous.
not confident in my team's ability to retain Aaron Judge, but he's not going to the Mets.
Short punt.
End over end punt, but a really
Great
nice
bounce.
bounce for DeMatha, and it's going to roll just to the Clarkson North side of the 50-yard line.
Apparently, Aaron Judge liked the Oakland Athletics Instagram page.
Then he has really bad taste.
I agree. And the thing is, people got fired up about that, but I was like, Oakland can't pay anybody.
Yeah.
So
There's a movie about it.
Yes.
and they still do that. 20 years later.
Their ushers probably work for service hours.
Goodness. Clarkson North back out. 50 yards to pay dirt for Football North, needing a score just to give themselves a chance in this game, trailing by 20.
They need to champion their Doug Flutie on the Calgary Stampeders attitude.
I like that.
Yeah.
That's a great reference. And that was a great tackle by Tawfiq Byard, taking down Tyson Charles at the line of scrimmage.
No flag on that punt, I'd like to mention. So, very good.
Progress.
Yeah.
Again, not a whole lot of urgency here from Football North. Down 3 touchdowns. I mean, maybe they're just fine with this.
3 receiver set, handoff, no, fake handoff, and they send it out to Withingham.
Good play.
And was that Tawfiq Byard again? That was that Nathaniel Owusu?
No,
Is that number
I think
11?
it was Owusu.
Yeah, Nathaniel Owusu with the tackle on the top of the screen. A great hard hit on Gavin Withingham.
Yeah, it seems like DeMatha's not falling for the banana in the tailpipe anymore. These trick plays are not coming with the level of success they had in the first quarter or so. Looks like it's curtains at this point, but
Yeah.
you know, knock on wood, obviously.
I mean,
So, quick note, Riley Ferran making that touchdown catch. His grandfather, John Ferran, is going to be inducted into DeMatha's Hall of Fame in 2 days.
oh, so, it's Riley Ferran Day, but it's Ferran weekend.
There you go.
Maybe it's the year of the Ferran.
Yes. 3rd down and 12 for Clarkson North. Back to pass. Chapman looking downfield and off Withingham's fingertips.
Almost intercepted on the deflection.
I think he might have mistimed his jump going up for that because it looked, I mean, it was going to be a tough catch, but it looks catchable. It's going to be 4th down and 12 now. That's going to be a fun Hall of Fame ceremony. So I am also being inducted along with Mr. Halsey.
Oh, very nice.
got to the
Mr.
point,
Halsey's getting
Yeah.
inducted. The 2006 National Basketball Championship team is being inducted. The 1996 lacrosse team is being inducted. Coach Brooks, Elijah Brooks,
Okay.
he's being inducted on Sunday.
But I think it should be Mr. Halsey and then everyone else's things in induction speeches.
So
I think you
Mr.
have to
Halsey
give-
is actually going to be the anchor leg on it. He's going to be the last person to
Ah.
go. Yeah, saving the best for last.
Yeah.
Pass is caught.
Wow.
Mackay Tyrell skies for it between 3 defenders. They're going to call I guess they called forward progress there, but it is past the 1st down marker, so Clarkson North going to retain possession on a big 4th down conversion.
Looks like Winston Chapman was just in a sandwich back there in the backfield.
Yeah, it was just a scrum of players at the point of the catch, too.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were six DeMatha players and 2 Clarkson North players in that vicinity. Just a great athletic play by Mackay Tyrell Jr. Handoff here, up the gut. He's going to take it past the 35-yard line, but not much more. So maybe a yard, 2 yards at most on that gain by Brandon Ward.
Gets the football 35-yard line for number 2.
Coming up on the 5-minute mark, and still no urgency from Clarkson North's offense.
I think we should give a little update on the World Series right now. The Houston Astros are leading 2-0.
That's right, game 1 tonight.
It's weird to think it's going to be in November.
Yeah,
I mean-
I thought they made changes to the schedule specifically to avoid that happening.
Yeah,
but then, of course,
but the
they
lockout
decided
happened.
to
Yeah.
extend or expand the playoffs.
Yeah, plus, again, the lockout didn't help because the regular season ended later than it normally would as well.
Yeah.
Like it ended on a Wednesday, too, which don't do that again, Major League Baseball. I hate that. Sunday is the last day of the regular season.
Yes.
Come on.
4-yard gain for Clarkson North there. Maybe 5.
Yeah, very good moves. That should have been a 2-yard loss at least.
Yep. So it's going to be 3rd down, and we'll call it 5 officially.
Almost in scoring position. They should be able to kick.
Keep an eye on the bottom of your screen. Mackay Tyrell split out wide.
False start.
And they hand it off. That's Caleb Sargent pushing the pile forward. They decide this is 4-down territory, so no need to throw on 3rd and 5. Instead, they're going to pick up about 4 yards and set up a 4th and 1. This is tough. What do you go to in this situation, Steven?
I would do. I wish I had a telestrator because you know those things. I love to draw it.
Not quite in the budget yet.
Yeah,
Maybe one day. Maybe one day.
Yeah, but on the bottom, I'd run. You can have one doing sort of a slant on the outside and go sort of on the inside, have him come back for a fade. Or that sounded like gibberish there. But
annexation of Puerto Rico, maybe.
Yeah. You can throw Saskatchewan in there as well.
There you go.
Just make a pick. So have at least one of your players to be able to be wide open for Clarkson North.
So we got a false start here. Maybe?
I definitely did not say Shohei Ohtani for MVP. Shohei
Really?
Ohtani is
Really,
excellent,
LeBron?
but Judge was better this season.
Mm-hmm.
Judge had a higher WAR despite only playing one position.
Yeah. Was that false start flag thrown with enthusiasm this time?
It was just kind of up in the air like a typical side judge.
They're getting tired,
but apparently
too.
It's, it was actually an encroachment, which I didn't see.
Yeah.
Okay. They say so?
DeMatha's open house is coming up next Sunday. So
I thought it was not this Sunday?
Not this Sunday, but next Sunday.
Okay.
Yep. November 6th, I believe, is the date. And if anybody out there has a 6th, 7th, or 8th grader who is potentially interested in applying to and attending DeMatha, it's a great opportunity to come out and see everything that's going on.
Yeah,
come
by great event.
Yeah, come by the cross-country table and see all the trophies that we've won this year and the one that we're hoping to win tomorrow.
No, not hoping. Going.
I
think is the correct
I
one.
like that, yes. Going to win tomorrow.
If I come through tomorrow, which I plan to, y'all better win.
Yeah.
Got to make it worth Eric Meyer's time.
That's right.
And of course, you can go and see all the different departments. See what the English department has to offer, what the art department has to offer. Go and see Mr. Halsey. Mr. Halsey will be a Hall of Famer at that point.
That was
go and talk to him.
enthusiastic.
We'll be able to show you guys, hopefully, a little bit of what video broadcast is all about. Hoping to have a few students who can be there to show the incoming 6th, 7th, and 8th graders what we have going on with this class. But it should be a really nice day. It's great information, and it's always nice to see the young potential future Stags walk in the halls for, in some of their cases, the first time of many in their lives.
Did you attend an open house before you became a student?
Yeah, I did go to the open house my 8th grade year. So I didn't actually decide that I was homeschooled until high school, and I didn't decide I wanted to go to a high school until my 8th grade year. DeMatha was kind of on the short list in part because my dad grew up 2 doors down from Mr. Moylan.
Oh, well, that seems to help.
Yes. So initially I was going to go to Wise High School because it was right down the street from me, and it was opening up my freshman year. But wound up shadowing at DeMatha and Gonzaga. Went to both open houses. I liked DeMatha way more.
Well, that's good.
And that's why I'm still here.
That's why we're here.
Yes. This pass to Mackay Tyrell, and he is fighting for every bit of yards that he can get up near the sticks. I don't know if he quite got there, but it's going to set up a 3rd down and short for Clarkson North.
Yeah. Let's see, any new update from Laurent? Is he going deep in the bag of takes?
Oh, apparently he says that you, Stephen, said that if cross country wins tomorrow, you will run the Music 5K.
I did not say that. No chance in hell.
So we'll get a timeout here, Clarkson North. The coach is out there pointing to something on the scoreboard, trying to get their attention. I'm not sure what he's trying to communicate to them. they're the ones who are not operating with any sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
right.
Oh, well, now they're showing their enthusiasm and their urgency.
Yes.
Apparently.
Better
I mean,
late than never, but
As they've let
they've
minutes
used, what,
slip off the
4
clock.
or 5 minutes? Wind off the clock on this drive. We're down
on
to
the-
a minute 17, and you're still down by 3 scores.
they probably let 25 minutes go on just from doing nothing this whole game.
They've had a lot of possession time, and
Maybe they had a game plan, and even though it's not working, they're just going to keep going with it until the end. Just commit to the bit.
Yeah. You have to respect someone who has something that's broken and still doesn't fix it, yet uses it. So.
That's not how I'm pretty sure a title to our podcast involved Corey trying to say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And he said something more along those lines. That definitely happened at one
I think I said if it ain't fixed, don't broke it. Or
Yeah,
something
that
like
is what you
that.
Well, it's not fixed.
That's a Yogi Berra-ism right
There
there.
you go.
Did you say that 100% of the time or 50% of the 100%?
Coach is still
Almost
on the
half of the titles of our podcast episodes have been misspeaks by me. Either sometimes it's on purpose, usually not.
Yeah.
like 95% of the time.
If it ain't fixed.
90% of the time, it is 10% unintentional.
Well, if it ain't fixed, don't broke it.
Just listen to that episode. It was a good one.
How do you know which one that was?
Well, I know it's the one where you said that, which made it good. I was very entertained, as was Evan.
All right, so still waiting on action to return to the field after what was a very long timeout.
Coach is still
Well,
on
yeah.
the field.
Yeah,
How much? Okay, we
1, 2, 0.
All right, yeah, 1, 2, 0. Okay.
so they're arguing over 3 seconds.
Wow.
They're just going to waste anyway.
Yeah. Better late than never. I mean,
I better
Y'all
see
don't think y'all
these last
wasted
80
3 seconds at some
better
point
be
on that
the
drive?
most urgent
Yeah.
80 seconds we've seen.
you know, they showed up to the party the morning after.
And then whine about the fact that there's no food.
Yeah, exactly. Clarkson North would be
Is
late.
this worse than Aaron Boone arguing about or being upset about the roof being open in Houston?
It's close,
It's on the level. I'll say that much.
but this is sort of like being on the level of being late to your own wedding. I mean,
Let's not
These
talk
are-
about being late to your own wedding.
but like,
I was not late.
You were
I
something.
I was perfectly fine.
oh no, but like this is just at this point, what are you doing for 3 seconds? That's real estate that's just not worth it.
It's arguing for the sake of arguing, I guess.
Yeah.
And we're still waiting for play to resume.
Trying to run this as long as it possibly can. Maybe our dreams of a running clock, this is our karma for it, where we're just going to stop play for a solid 5 minutes in a decided game.
Winston Chapman
Oh,
Oh, boy.
faces a heavy pass rush,
almost.
tipped
Oh,
and to the ground. I believe that was Tawfik Bard with the defense again.
we got a flag there as well. Very enthusiastic flag.
There you go. And no, that was Dante Lovett with the tip. Tried to tip it up to himself, I think. Didn't work. We'll see what the flag is.
The refs today are great at showing off their spirit.
They lost a little bit of juice for a couple minutes, but that break probably gave them.
Yeah.
And they're going to call roughing the passer on DeMatha. The pass rush was there in time. I don't know if maybe it was
Yeah.
just a high hit.
It was a good hit.
I thought it looked like a good hit,
The
too.
defender had his hands up as he was rushing. Maybe he brought it down on the helmet. I don't know if that's a penalty in high
Yeah.
school the same way it is in the NFL, but because that would definitely be a penalty in the NFL.
yeah.
Blow to a head's illegal.
Yeah,
every
I would
level of
imagine
football.
so. So that is the roughing call, and Clarkson North is going to get it at about the 6-yard line, 7-yard line for
Honest-
first and goal.
It's back to 1 minute 17 seconds where it was before.
Which
those
I'm pretty
5
sure
minutes.
more than 3 seconds should have run off on
Oh,
that. What a hit!
Scoop and score. Not
Scoop.
doing it, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
Tawfik Bayard with the forced fumble. What a hit!
Yeah.
Wow. And Cortez Harris, I believe, is the one who came up with the loose ball.
Just a flattening hit.
And with 1 minute and 10 seconds left, DeMatha just going to run the clock out as the best they can.
The ref tried
Yes,
to
I
flip the ball
saw that. He threw
to
it right at
guy,
the ball.
And he hit the ball that was already spotted. It's been a long day. I guess Tawfiq was tired of the shenanigans with the clock and wasting time. Let's just get the ball.
Yeah.
I don't blame him. I was a little tired too. Thank you, Tawfiq. Good looking out. So DeMatha kneels down. Let's see if Clarkson North wants to call those 2 timeouts. I would not put it past them.
Maybe they'll get an illegal block in the back penalty in there for good measure.
No, the
one
clock
on
is
Victor
running,
Animation.
so
Yeah.
DeMatha will get to kneel one more time, and we'll get out of here with a 23-3 victory. It was a very close game in the first half, had the makings of a very entertaining, very tough contest between these two teams. But Clarkson North gave up on the idea of scoring at the end of the first half. DeMatha took advantage by scoring about halfway through the third quarter with a 20-yard touchdown pass from Denzel Gardner to Riley Ferran. And then just a couple minutes later, that touchdown return, 57 yards by Christian Tate. And that's your score, 23-3.
You've got to give them some credit, Clarkson North. This is one of the closest games DeMatha has played all year.
It is.
So, I mean, for a team that was supposed to be probably 70-3 right now, having it only 22-3, I think they deserve a small pat on the back. They didn't win, but
We said at the beginning of the game that they've played a competitive schedule and they've played teams pretty close that otherwise you would have thought would have blown them out. And sort of the same thing here today.
Any final thoughts on this game before we get out of here, or was that pretty much it?
I think that was pretty much it. I will never try to buy 3 seconds of real estate.
This has been a fantastic season here on DM Stags TV. This is our last football broadcast of the year.
It's very sad.
Yeah, very sad. You'll be able to catch next week's Good Counsel game on Flow Football. But keep an eye out for our upcoming broadcast schedule. Make sure you follow us on Twitter at DM Stags TV so you know when we are going to broadcast any hockey games. We certainly hope to get a couple of those in this winter. And, of course, all of our home basketball games except for the ones that are part of the Capital Hoops Fest tournament. But everything else, we'll be broadcasting right here on YouTube, DM Stags TV. So we look forward to having you get back with us for those games. But for the football season, thank you so much for watching. I'm Corey Puffett signing off for Stephen McDonald, Eric Meyer, and all of our crew from the video broadcast journalism class here at DeMatha. Thank you guys so much for your hard work, and we will catch you all for our next game.
Oh, wait, we've got a last comment from Laurent really quickly.
Luke Voigt greater than Anthony Rizzo? Probably,
Yeah,
actually.
yeah.
That
That's
might be the best take of the night.
Nice job, Laurent.
There we go.
Finally, Laurent got something
Finish
right.
strong, yes.
All right. We'll catch you all.